Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday, May 7th. We are doing a session today with Club Med. I actually have two guests with me today. We have Justin and we have Isabelle as well. Hey, guys. Welcome.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi. Um, so let's start with Justin. Justin, can you give us a quick background about what do you do with Club Med?
Yeah, sure. I actually so I'm a director of sales strategy for the Eastern region. So I have our sales team. Isabelle's on my team, and we have been in the industry for many years. I won't say how many years now, but I started with Club Med in Paris many years ago in the reservation center taking calls. I worked in London for a few years. I worked in the Midwest as a business development manager. I left Club Med, and then I came back. So this is, I think, I can't remember now, the third or fourth time they've hired me, actually. So
Well, they keep leaving and they keep bringing you back.
I know, that's right. I try to get out, but they keep bringing me back in. So I'm wearing my Club Med 45 hat today because I have quarantine here.
I didn't shoot. Yeah, see, I got my shirt on.
Very nice.
I bought my shirt. We lost Isabelle for some reason. We have some people online. We have Amanda, we have Julie, we have Dawn and Jill. Hi, everyone. We are going to try and hopefully wait for Isabelle. I don't know where
Sure.
we lost her. I think she wanted to go first.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I would like to, get some more information. I had the picture on as people can see for Club Med in the background, which is a little bit different. I think here in the Northeast and North America, people are pretty much used to Club Med being summer. But to me and to a lot of the people who actually sell Club Med, we know that actually the majority of your clubs are winter clubs. But can you tell us a little bit about Club Med in general, and of course specifically regarding the clubs in the Northeast?
Yeah, sure. I think people remember Club Med. The number one thing that I hear from people who know about Club Med is they say, "Oh yeah, I remember. That's like that wild and crazy place from the '70s." Or people have a story about the time they went to Club Med.
Right? With the beads or something?
With the doors that didn't lock or something like that. So, and that was the case for many years. That was really, we started out. This is actually, as of last week, we just celebrated our 70th anniversary. So 70 years in business, if you can imagine that. And it's really an interesting time because, Club Med was founded really right after World War II at a time when, it was founded specifically because the founders, Blitz and Trigano, felt that it was a time that people needed healing, that they needed to get out and experience the outside, to have activities, to have time away that they could relax and unwind, really. So, fast forward to today, I think I think most of us now more than ever could use to get away and to have some normalcy in our lives again. So that's really sort of the initial idea behind Club Med, and we founded the all-inclusive concept. Really, and it's true. To your point, Roy, people think about us for some of the Caribbean and Mexico resorts. Why? Well, you hear all-inclusive, and a lot of times that's the first thing that jumps to mind. Fast forward to today, also Club Med is, we're not a luxury resort, but we're definitely moving more up market. You'll find that our properties are really family focused. We have great kids activities. Kids clubs in some properties start as young as 4 months. So, it's really a different product, but we kept a lot of the same great things. We now have 70 resorts worldwide, and every single one is all inclusive. So yes, we have Caribbean and Mexico, and those are really some of the biggest sellers. Right now, we also have Sandpiper Bay, Florida, of course, which for those folks looking for domestic travel, I think it's going to be, well, we're already seeing a lot of interest and demand for it, particularly as people are thinking about maybe not traveling internationally, at least for a little while. And then, the ski properties, we've got beautiful ski properties. We took everything that's great about all-inclusive, the meals, the drinks, the snacks, and put it on snow. So now you have, a really easy way to sell ski. Beautiful properties in Europe. And the thing that we find sometimes is people say, well, it's really exotic to send my clients to Europe to go skiing, or maybe you're not as experienced in selling ski. I like to say it's kind of like a ski cruise. It's really easy. We can do the whole package with the flights, transfers. We include the lessons, the lift pass, meals, drinks, everything. All you have to do is get your clients to the airport. We'll take care of the rest. It can be a fantastic value, and your clients have an amazing experience skiing in Europe. So, sorry, that was a long answer to your question, but
no, it's fine. And I think we got Isabelle back, but only in spirit. Can you hear us, Isabelle?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I don't have a baseball cap today. Maybe that's why. But I can read the comments, and it's great. People are talking about Sandpiper Bay and being phenomenal, and it's in my backyard, so of course I think it is. I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah. We have some. We have Nancy, we have Fior, Christina, and Amanda. Amanda says that most people don't know Club Med put in the Cancun airport. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but it is very close to the airport.
Well, we helped build the airport in Cancun and also in Punta Cana as well. We were partners with the original group of Punta Cana, and Club Med built the airport there. Absolutely.
Right. You guys are the ones, pretty much the only property that doesn't belong to the airport in the Punta Cana resort area. But I mean, for Club Med, what I do like about you guys in the Caribbean, when you get into a destination, you try and find a place where no one has been before, grab it, find the best location, and then everyone else follows. I remember seeing the pictures of Club Med Cancun back in the the 80s, and where Club Med was, and you see the empty street of the hotels, the hotel strip, and there was nothing there. And then everyone else just came along. Same with Punta Cana, and now with Meeches.
Meeches, yeah, that's exactly what we tried to do with Meeches. There's that whole area. We were the first ones in there. We grabbed a great stretch of beach up there, and of course now, recently, I've heard that there are a couple other hotels that are we're considering building up there before all this happened. But it's always something that we try to do, and I think it's part of the we've really focused our development strategy very clearly now, where that is what we look for. We look for properties that are unique. We look for places that we can build that are where we can get space like that. We try to build in a sustainable way, and I think Meeches is a great way, a great example of that, where when we were building, we didn't cut down the palm trees. We picked them up, replanted them outside of the construction site, and then put them back afterwards. So, things like that we're trying to do. And I think the other thing that we try to do now with development that's incredibly relevant today is we don't build high density developments. We try to build spread out low-rise buildings. So, particularly now where, as we evolve into this new reality and what that's going to look like, we used to have a marketing slogan that we use, which we no longer use, but we may bring back, called the luxury of space, where, yes, you're in an all-inclusive resort, but you've got a lot of room to spread out. There is space to keep distance. You're not, packed into a high-rise building or into a massive dining room. So, there's ways that we have this as part of our strategy, and I think it'll be really, really important going forward for sure.
Yeah. So I see a few people mention Sandpiper. So you guys have a unique property in the U.S. It's local, it's domestic, it's all inclusive. It's different than what people are used to because it's on a river and not necessarily on the ocean. But can you tell us a little bit about Sandpiper? If people right now, COVID-19, people don't want to leave the country. Maybe there's there's enough market for it. People would be interested in it.
I think so. There's a couple of things I'll say on that. First off, it is a unique property. We used to run a shuttle to the beach, and we actually stopped doing it because people didn't want to go after the first day. If the ocean beach is really the most important thing, I always tell people, if you're going to go to Sandpiper and you really want to go to the ocean, when you fly in, rent a car. We have free parking at the resort. If you want to hop in the car, it's a 10-minute drive to Jensen Beach right on the ocean. What we find is most people are just really busy in the resort with activities, whether it's tennis or golf or the kids programs. The pools are there. We do offer sailing on the St. Lucie River and paddle boarding. So it's actually really a nice space. And most people don't, sometimes I think some travel advisors are afraid to sell it because they assume their clients are going to be upset it's not on the ocean. But if you qualify your clients and you just make sure they understand what it is, people have a great time there. Similarly with the rooms, I'll just say the rooms are, they're a little bit more modest. The property, I would say probably the room product itself, maybe more like a 3.5 star. I mean, it's not luxury, but we do have some great family room options. And the key is really the activities in the resort. You feel like you're in an all-inclusive resort, like you could be anywhere in an all-inclusive resort, but it's right there in Florida. We're seeing a lot of interest now, as I mentioned, particularly folks who don't necessarily want to travel outside the country. Drive market, I mean, it's an 8-hour drive from Atlanta, but it's doable. If people are flying private, Witham Field and Stewart is only about 15 minutes away. Or of course, Palm Beach International is the closest major airport. So, there's a lot of options. I do think we haven't really officially released it yet, but we will be releasing our new resort plan in terms of how we're going to be adapting the experience in the current context. I've been very, very impressed to see what the teams have been doing. But the kinds of things that we're doing are really going to be designed to make sure that clients have a safe experience. We've really thought about everything that we could possibly do to make sure that clients feel comfortable and safe and secure in the resort, while still providing the Club Med feel and feeling like you're on vacation. So that's kind of where we are with that going forward. And I think it's it is a unique product, and it is truly all inclusive. It's the only real family all inclusive in the U.S.
So I don't know if you have a lot of the details, but I'm always wondering. I mean, buffets are an issue, but it's an option that you can probably solve. But what happens with the rest, like the shows, the kids club, everything else that is a little more problematic too? You know what I mean?
You know what? It's out of everything, even out of the biggest challenges come the greatest opportunities. There are some things that we've been kind of thinking about doing for a while that we're going to be forced to do now. Like, we've really tried to think about the guest experience from start to finish, and how do we make people feel safe and secure and comfortable throughout the whole time that they're there. So, I'll give you a couple of general examples, and just, these haven't all been finalized. Like I said, we'll be putting out an official statement of our policies and procedures soon. But generally speaking, a couple things that we're going to be doing, working on contactless check-in, so people can check in before they get there. They don't have to go to the front desk. In terms of the buffets, one of the things that we've been shifting to doing generally is if you go into, and we call it marketplace dining, because chefs have been there, at different stations making plates. Basically, we're going to be shifting to a lot more of that. So you'll see that, there's not going to be people handling common serving utensils and that kind of thing. So we're going to be having chefs make plates for people. We're looking at some other dining options, grab and go and stuff like that, extending dining time so that people are not all forced to go in at the same time. In terms of the ambiance and experience in the resort, anything like the, traditionally there's kind of this flow in the evening where there's, and it's always been a very group experience where you've got, cocktail hours at this time here, and then dinner, and then the show, and then you have the crazy signs, or the you dance the dance club at night. We're still kind of working out a couple of details, but basically we're going to be kind of transitioning more into spreading things out throughout the resort. So you might have stuff going on concurrently. So at the same time, you might have a concert over here, or you might have a kids magic show over here, and so the people are kind of spread out a little bit more, and they can keep the distance that we'll want to allow people to keep, while still not feeling like they're missing out on anything, because there's always something going on at different parts of the resort. So they're still finalizing some of the exact specific plans, but like I said, we're really trying to make sure that it's a relaxing, fun experience for people, while still making sure they have a safe time.
Okay. Amanda was asking if you guys have a travel agent training. Can you go over the training, maybe even because the benefit of the training with the points? Can you discuss a little bit about the travel agent program?
We are actually we're kind of in the process of finishing up the new specialist program. So I would expect the new specialist program to be coming out soon. We haven't finalized it yet, but it should be very, very shortly. In the meantime, there are resources on clubmedta.com. We do have a program. You can earn points for every booking you make. There's no tracking forms. It's automatic. So that just happens every time you book Club Med, and all the details are on Club Med TA as well. But the specialist program is coming soon.
I can tell you that it's from my experience, it's quite hard to utilize the points. It's I mean, good and bad. The clubs are popular. It's quite hard to find a spot, to find availability.
It depends on when you're looking. Obviously, I mean, we're
in the property, and of course,
the property and so forth.
Depends on a lot of things. Someone said get a new portal for travel agents. Yeah, the system you guys use to book is a little hard. Has some issues with non-refundable rates and the regular rate. I don't know if that was resolved since I've I haven't made a Club Med reservation in the past month or so, but it's challenging sometimes.
It's we've been actually working this past year to redesign the portal, which will have a new booking tool. Unfortunately, obviously now with everything going on, the staffing in Paris, where we have our IT team that manages all that, has been reduced, so it's a little bit hard to get some of that done. It's still on the books. I'm hoping that we'll have something ready by the end of this year. In the meantime, it is a call into the call center. The good news is the wait times are very low. So.
Yeah, right now. But yeah, of course, you guys will probably know that to book, once you book and put a deposit and not paying full, make some payments. It's a little hard. I remember you guys were trying to use Vax as a tool for a while, and I guess that didn't work out. But I know
the system just didn't talk well together. They didn't work well together, so it was kind of a challenge with Vax. Yeah, look, I mean, I know our system is the online booking portal is challenging to use. I think we're very aware of it. It is getting stuff like that, developed is a challenge. It takes time. It's expensive. It's hard to do, but it is something that we're working on, and we really do want to make it better. I mean, look, it serves us as well. It cuts down on volume into the contact center. It means that we can be more flexible with that, and so we're all for doing it. It's just we also don't want to turn out something that's going to be kind of half working, half not. So I think we're trying to be really, really careful that when we release something, it actually functions the way it's supposed to. So, but it is in progress, and I am expecting it out, later on this year. So at least that we were actually scheduled to go out with something sooner this year, but like I said, I think it's going to be quick back. So for the moment, I do recommend calling in to 1-800-CLUB-MED to make a booking or ask questions.
Yeah. There are, I mean, you guys have several properties here in the North America market, and they are unique. Like Turks and Caicos as an adults only property,
Yeah.
all-inclusive adults only property, and plans for a new property in Canada. Is this still in place?
Yep, Club Med Charlevoix. We had actually already delayed the opening to December of 21. The reason being that it turns out that it's very hard to find iron workers in Quebec, and we wanted to use local labor. So we had to, and once you get a couple weeks delay in a project, once it gets into the winter months, then that kind of cascades. So we are scheduled to open in December 21. The resort was actually scheduled to be finished in the summer next year. So even with delays caused by COVID, I anticipate we'll still be opening on time. We're also opening a brand new property a little further afield, but in the Seychelles. We're expecting to open at the end of the year this year, so really excited about that. Our goal has been really to open 3 to 5 new resorts a year, and for a while we were kind of in a place where we were retooling and looking at the programs that we offered. How do we move it a little bit more up market, improve the quality? We got rid of some properties, and now it's exciting. We're in a, before all this started, we were in a real growth phase of 3 to 5 new resorts a year. The ones that are already in the books, I anticipate will continue. We're still expected to deliver all the ones, new ski properties and so forth. So, it's still really an exciting time with a lot of new growth for sure.
And Krista is saying that she booked Turks, she booked Turquoise, and for her clients, and they had a great time. Affordable for Turks. It's I mean, you guys work, your star system is a Trident, so it was recently renovated to a 4 Trident, 4-star property, adults only. Amazing beach as always. You pick the right for real estate. You guys picked the right location, so it is a gorgeous beach.
Yeah, look, I mean, the rooms are a little bit more moderate, and I always, again, you have to qualify your clients. I mean, that it's either one of the challenges we run into with that property sometimes is travel advisors see Turks and Caicos, and Turks is known for a lot of the luxury properties, and it's a nice resort. I mean, it's a great vibe. It was recently renovated. The rooms look great. They're still a little bit more moderate, but in terms of the value, all inclusive on that beautiful beach, I mean, it's fantastic. So
yeah, I would recommend to all agents, if you are booking Club Med and you're not sure, or your clients have never been, try and go with the upgraded rooms. The deluxes are right. The deluxes are the upgraded now, right? That's the name, not Superior, not Club. It's now Deluxe.
The entry level room is now Superior, and then it's Deluxe after.
Okay, so I would go minimum for the deluxes. They're a little bit upgraded. Even if it's just the decor, it makes it feel a little more modern. That's my recommendation. Nancy says that Punta Cana is an amazing property. Clients have been there. Also, her family can't wait to go. Actually, the last Club Med, what was it? Agent Appreciation was in. Was it Club Med? We actually got to stay at the Oasis, the adults only Zen Oasis section, which is gorgeous compared to a lot of properties that are on the higher. Again, consider themselves luxury in that concept. So I really like the concept. For Zen, and I think I've heard that you guys are opening more Zen Oasis in our area, right? Or
well, what we've done is, we've tried to take advantage of, particularly in family properties, getting back to your point about having great locations and great facilities and services on the resort. We try to we realized that not everybody wants to travel with families. So, we have in some properties space where we're able to incorporate an adult only section, what we now call Zen Oasis. So there's one in Punta Cana. We just opened a brand new Zen Oasis in the Club Med in Guadeloupe, which, is beautiful. I mean, it's a family resort, but the Zen Oasis has its own section on the beach. It's, a little bit away from everything else. So even if you're traveling as a couple or without kids or multi-generational, you can kind of have what it is, a Zen Oasis away from the family side of things too, but still take advantage of the rest of the property. So, it's great. And actually, last year we had speaking of Guadeloupe, that was just reopened after a $40 million renovation. And, we had some nonstop flights out of New York on JetBlue. They were supposed to continue them through next season. I don't know if they've amended that, but last time I heard, even this winter, we were supposed to have some nonstops from JFK to Guadeloupe, as well as Miami to Guadeloupe too. So.
Yeah, there's some. You guys have some, again, unique destinations that we, in Guadeloupe, and I mean, Martinique is not really part of the North America market, we'll call it, but it is close, and we do have some flights from New York from time to time. The Bahamas property, was it closed before? Is it open? I know it's closed right now because of COVID, but
it's open. The Bahamas property, I was actually just there in February, and I will say that that property is special in its own way. The beach is beautiful. It is very spread out. There's nothing else there. Again, talk about being able to distance. You can, there's lounge chair, versus I stayed in Nassau for one night, and there were 3 rows of lounge chairs packed on this little tiny beach. It's totally different, but the diving was fantastic. It's a beautiful property, gorgeous beach. The rooms are a little bit more modest, I would say. They're a bit more basic, being totally honest. But in terms of really feeling like you're getting a getaway, it's fantastic. The one thing to keep in mind with that property is it is a charter flight from Miami, and it's a 7-night stay. In some cases, some weeks we may be able to do. There's actually a charter out of Montreal on Tuesdays. So if you have clients that are, like in New England somewhere, and they don't, they want to overnight one night in Montreal, it's possible to do that sometimes. But generally speaking, it's going to be a 1 week stay with a charter out of Miami. It's kind of hard to get.
Charter to Columbus Isle and for 7 nights as a package.
Okay. Sorry, I'm taking this thing over from Isabelle. I don't mean to.
No, I mean, I see Isabelle, but I mean, I can't see Isabelle. I see that she's online with us, but she's audio only.
I'm so grateful that Justin is there, and I'm grateful that he's doing all the talking. I mean, I think it's awesome. Then I'll take all the follow-up, the questions and all that. Actually, Roy, I would, at the end, I would really appreciate if you could share my contact info. So then if anybody has questions or, want to talk more about opportunities, then I'll be more than happy to continue the conversation.
Any specific product that you guys want to mention, whether it's groups or ski?
You mean in terms of promotions coming up?
Promotions or in general? I don't know how many agents are aware or sell ski in Europe with the Club Med product. I know I've saw them quite a bit, and I still, not until I actually went there and saw and experienced it about 2 years ago, I haven't really realized what Club Med All-Inclusive Ski means. I mean, I can talk about. We've been selling a lot of Club Med. We like the product, but you guys probably should know it better than I do. So.
Actually, when it comes to ski, I mean, Justin has been to so many ski resorts. So, Justin, you should take that one on because you're the ski expert here. Spa. You want any question on spa? You ask me.
Well, I tell you, the ski property, like I said, I think there's really the big message for me is, if you hadn't thought of Club Med in a while, it's a good time to take another look, because it really has changed a lot. And I think, I mentioned some of the perceptions that we run into, and I know who that is who just said that message. I know who that is. It has kept a lot of the great things about Club Med, but really tried to improve the quality, the experience in resort. It is a little bit different. You really have to have the right clients who are open to the experience. It's not necessarily a cookie cutter all inclusive. It really is a unique experience. People feel like they're in a different culture, and the biggest things. Absolutely think of us for ski, because it is an easy way to do ski. It's profitable. It is a great value for your clients. In fact, in the brochure on Club Med TA, we have a comparison of what it costs to ski in the Rockies versus skiing at a Club Med in Europe. And if you calculate in everything, somebody would pay, let's say from the East Coast to go skiing in Vail or Aspen for a week, by the time you're done with the flights, which cost about the same in season as going to Europe, the meals, drinks, snacks, lift passes, lessons if you need them, transfers, all that stuff, you could easily pay, $4,000 per person, and only the very small hotel part of that is commissionable, versus Club Med, where the majority of it's commissionable, and for two people, $6,000 maybe, so that's including the flight. So depends on where you go. So that's a great value, and again, we make it easy because you don't have to book all the pieces, and you don't have to know everything about ski. We've got it covered. So I think that's a message.
Yeah. Same thing for Justin. I'm sorry to interrupt, but same thing for family ski vacations. Think about the kids having something to do with the kids club, and the lessons, and so it's way more than just your hotel and your ski lift, and that's your ski vacations, right?
Yeah, nice thing that I sometimes find is that Club Med will sometimes have a single rate. The supplement is not that much. We do a lot of, not really groups, but a lot of FITs, a lot of guys going together. They're going on a ski vacation. They each get a room. They don't pay for the full room, because a lot of the times Club Med will have a special rate for the singles. And it's easy. Sometimes if you compare Boston to Denver or Boston to Geneva, at certain times the Boston to Geneva will be cheaper.
Yep.
So sometimes Boston to Denver will be like $1,000 during prime time, and people would think during the winter no one really wants to go to Geneva where it's cold. You can find air for $600. So it's just think of the other side sometimes when. If you do have, and of course it can be profitable, because as Justin said, the majority of the package is commissionable to you.
Yeah, it's a great
Correct.
win-win on both sides. The other thing, certainly there's a way to use Club Med for some of the more exotic destinations too. Just again, it depends on what your clients need. If you have clients that maybe haven't traveled a lot, that want to do something exotic like Marrakesh, we have a beautiful property in Marrakesh. You can stay a couple nights. You have that comfort and security of the all-inclusive package, but you can still take excursions and go out to the Souk, to go out to the Atlas Mountains. You can do things like that. Honeymooners looking for a great value. We have our property in the Maldives with overwater bungalows, all-inclusive. Honestly, it can. We have a brand new villa product as well, which is actually really pretty upscale. Actually, it's still all inclusive, but you're talking about these beautiful villas with private plunge pools. I had somebody traveling out of the Boston area with Air on Emirates for a week to the villa product. It was about $12,000, including the flights. Think about that when you think about when people say I want an overwater bungalow somewhere in French Polynesia. And don't get me wrong, I love French Polynesia, but again, depending on what people's budgets are and the value, it's a little further. It's a mission, but man, talk about an amazing experience. And then closer in, where we are now, we really think that Sandpiper is going to be uniquely positioned to, particularly as we kind of ramp up and people start traveling again. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like for a little while. If you have clients who are looking for a domestic option, Sandpiper could be the right one. It just, obviously depends on the clients, but that too is a terrific value for everything that you get with it. So that's kind of where we're really focusing right now. Certainly having some offers coming out for groups and multi-generational travel. I know some people had mentioned to me recently that there's a lot of frustration around not being able to get together for the holidays recently, Easter and Passover, and looking for opportunities to get together with the family, sometime outside of that. So, we're expecting that there's a lot more demand for that as things kind of ramp up again too. So.
Okay. And can you or Isabelle, can you guys share regarding the current policy, the closures? When are we supposed to maybe open?
Sure. The exact open date has not been officially announced. Right now, we're targeting, I would say, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and everything that happened, the world we faced 2 weeks ago is not necessarily the world we face today. So, right now we've been doing our best to reaccommodate folks who weren't able to travel. Sandpiper is still closed for the moment, but we are expecting it should reopen within the next couple weeks. I think Florida just starting to the reopening process, and part of our plan obviously is contingent on what the state does as well. So, but I would say certainly within the next couple weeks, I would expect Sandpiper to reopen. I think we'll probably have I honestly think probably within the next week or so we'll be able to have a more firm idea. Yeah.
And for the people who had reservations and they were canceled, what's credits, refund, changes? What's
It's we've been offering future travel credits, but we've been trying to be as flexible as possible with them. So we're offering a 2-year window for people to use them. In some cases, we've tried to look at things on kind of a case-by-case basis. If people outside the policy need help for moving, for whatever reason, we're trying to be flexible where we can. But for the moment, it's future travel credits valid for 2 years.
Okay. There was a question if Sandpiper is open, but you've answered. Let's see. I don't see any other questions. Isabelle, do you want to discuss a little bit regarding groups and meetings?
Yeah, that's quite interesting anyway. And it's quite interesting because the bookings, the first bookings that I saw coming were groups actually. And many of them, of course, were rebookings, due to COVID. But now this week in particular, I see more and more individual bookings, FIT bookings coming. And if I compare groups and FIT, groups are a lot of business that is that were booked already, and they're rebooking. But FIT, new bookings, new requests coming in, and that's quite interesting. And every time I see an option or a booking coming our way, I call the agent just because I'm curious to see where the business is coming from, and if you're starting to get requests from your clients, and you do, and it's quite interesting to see the difference between groups and FIT. The other thing that I hear a lot is, Isabelle, I call the group department and you're sold out for that date for Thanksgiving at Sandpiper. And of course, because like Justin was saying, we have a lot of requests for local business, so within the states, right? So a lot of groups, obviously, a lot of individuals also, and it's also the fact that when we will reopen, we'll probably not be at full capacity to start with. So, if we open, let's say, I don't know, 50% or 70% of the rooms, well, it fills up quickly. So, at certain dates, when you do have the request, I think it's worth a shot to look at, having an option on your booking or putting a deposit, knowing that you're not going to lose your money at the end of the day, right? But yes, we do have, it started with groups, and now we see more FIT bookings coming our way.
So if I create right now as an FIT, what is it different? The cancellation policy is different, or?
The cancellation policy is not different at this time. No, the future travel credit applies. For the bookings that we had before on groups and FIT as well, and then for future, like Justin was saying, who knows what's going to happen next week? We every week it's different, but it's promising in a sense that I think that all the cancellations were, not all, but most of the cancellations were already done, and now we're looking at actual bookings, right? So right now the cancellation policy hasn't changed, no.
Okay. And do you guys get to see some people that, because Club Med has a lot of people coming from Europe, France coming in. Do you see people still booking from Europe? Do you have access to the system?
Yeah, I can tell you that we're expecting at this point that there are going to be far fewer European travelers to North America this year. I think it just goes without saying. I haven't been in the system to see who's booked and who's not, but I think that it's our anticipation, also based on some of the bookings we've seen for our European properties, where a lot of the residents are going to be, maybe we're going to the ski resorts in the summer months because it's wide open spaces and mountain air, and versus traveling to Mexico or the Dominican Republic. And we don't know. We may still see some travel restrictions from Europe to those places. So it's at this point we're anticipating there being far fewer European clients this year for sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm not seeing any more questions. Anything that you guys want to that we haven't covered that you guys still want to mention? Promotion?
Isabelle?
Well, because I can see you, you cannot see me, so I try not to interrupt you right as soon as you open your mouth. But basically, what I'd like to say is, try to, if you haven't logged in or sign up on Club Med TA, that stands for Club Med Travel Agents, I think it's a really good idea, because I see it as your Bible of information. Anything that you're looking for, from the cancellation policy, the fact sheets on each of our resorts, videos, pictures, travel agent reduced rates, anything that you can think of, you'll probably find it there. And the other thing that is interesting is, once you have signed up on Club Med TA, then you will receive our promotions and specials and latest news and all that automatically. So, when an agent calls me and say, I don't get anything from you, oftentimes it's because they haven't registered on Club Med TA, and it's a wealth of information. So I strongly suggest that you visit clubmedta.com.
Right.
I'll also just comment, I think as I started out with, we've been very, very fortunate. I think that, Club Med recognizes that our sales team is important, and that we are here to help support you, and that we want to be ready to go when things start to pick up again. So, in the meantime, if you need us to work with you to help engage with your clients. We can do that. We have people for that. We're here to help. If you need creative solutions, if you want to think about things that we can do for marketing or to get new business for you. Again, Roy, you mentioned ski a couple times. It is a great opportunity if you've not sold ski before to look into how, are there things that we can do in your area to help grow it, working with a ski shop or whatever the case might be. So listen, we're really open to talking about new ideas for looking at ways to grow business, and like I said, our whole sales team is here, so we're standing by waiting for you.
And I think on Club Med TA there's a list of all the BDMs based on territory, and you can
correct
to them.
Correct. So in case of doubt, I mean, for everybody that is based in Florida, I'll probably be your BDM, but also if your host agency is in Florida, then you'll probably be with me. I'll probably be working with you. But in case of doubt, please reach out, and I'll make sure that I'll put you in touch with your BDM.
Perfect. So yeah, a lot of things to think about in terms of domestic all-inclusive is an option. Other things that you maybe haven't considered before. Something also that I like that Club Med doesn't appear on, I don't think, any of the tour operators in terms of online OTAs, Expedia, anything. So
no, we have we don't have any OTA relationships at this point.
So no Costco, no stuff like maybe, I don't know, Costco, yes, no. So see if you guys want a product that it's harder to compare and to compete. I do have some issues sometimes with.
It's all about the experience, really, and it's hard to. I think you mentioned it before, Roy. It's hard to describe. Until you've been there and experienced it. It's all about the experience. And, I'm just myself, when I think of an all-inclusive, in general, you'll think of the show at night with the banana on the stage and, little things like that. But Club Med is all about sports and activities, and where can you, learn sailing and you go golfing and you sail and and gardening and experiences, right? That I think it makes all the difference. And once you have experience it, you want to go back. And that's why you see so many of the 45 shirt, coming from today I'm wearing Cancun and you're wearing, I'm not sure which one you have, Roy. But then, you go to one of our resorts and you see, several guests with the 45 shirts from all around the world, right? Our resorts all around the world. So it's quite interesting to see.
Yeah, I have a collection of colors of. This one's Meaches, but
Meaches.
I have quite a few. So again, I would like to thank you both. Thank you very much. Thank you, Justin, for kind of last minute addition. And I guess we were lucky because we've had some issues with video with Isabelle. But thank you, Isabelle, for trying many times. She got locked off and on, but
I know you saw that, right? I really wanted, but let's do something, Roy. Next time we can do something focusing on maybe one or two resorts, or or a theme, or whatever you need. You let me know. I'll be happy to come to join again.
Wonderful. So again, thank you both. We'll be in touch, and we'll see if anyone in the group has any questions or they need anything. I'll gladly refer you guys out. So thank you. Stay safe. Hopefully, we'll see you guys in one of the resorts soon.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.